channel.
Continuing our May event 2025 with some of the strongest beings in Marvel and DC Comics, battling it out. In this matchup, it's all about who is stronger than who. The rules are simple. I explain each character's moments of showing off their strength, prowess, and then I make an argument on both ends. At the end, I claim one clear winner, and I'll explain why. With that being said, let's get going. In one corner, representing Marvel Comics, one of the strongest around, Hercules himself. The godlike man who's proven himself time after time to being the strongest around. Being able to carry Ferris wheels ripped through steels like a sheet of paper and can lift jets without breaking a sweat. He has punched Captain Marvel hard enough to send her flying, choke out Thor, and push off a giant version of Godzilla from Marvel as he attempts to squish him with his giant foot. He can break through being turned into stone, use the clap of his hands to stop a hurricane, and drag the island of Manhattan with some chains. He can stop Sentry mid-flight just by holding his cape, battling it out with Abomination easily, take on the Beyonder at lower level form, the Hulk, and even the god of war himself, Ares. Fighting Thor, he can shatter mountains or demolish worlds just with a good old-fashioned fistfight. He can lift the Earth's weight. And if that's not impressive enough, he relieved Atlas of his duties for 3 hours straight. His duties, you might be wondering, was lifting the weight of the heavens and or universes. Yeah, that's some other level stuff right there. Or when he leveled up for a time, he can reshape reality and defeat the most dangerous threat to the multiverse they have ever faced. With all these accomplishments, he's got a fighting chance to become the first winner of our heavy hitter match. Now in this corner, representing DC Comics, Princess Diana herself, aka Wonder Woman. She's no softie in her punches, being compared to the raw strength of Superman. Not just in theory, actually said by the Man of Steel himself. No matter what age in comics you look at, she has shown to be one of the big three in the DC game. Golden Age wise, she can pull the moon and sun, able to lift mountains and islands. She was able to make a penny into copper wire to create bridges using her own fingernails to do it. And her hands. She can throw an entire volcano and toss it. Also, in Golden Age, she was compared in strength as Hercules himself from Olympus. That's DC's version. In other comics, she still shines, whether that's breaking the Chronos scepter that can hold Godwave, lifting an alien tank like it was nothing, caught a giant meteor at one point before it could make an impact, broke Hal Jordan's energy construct, pulled Martian Manhunter from a black hole, out of a black hole. She can use a breath to blow so hard that if clouds got in her way, she can move it using her own lungs, blowing a meteor off its tracks or blow it so hard she can produce snow out of her own breath. Lifts planes and stops trains, drags boats and carries whales. She threw Supergirl to the sky to the ground using her lasso. From the sky to the ground using her lasso, survived a black hole bomb, punched a nuke and survived the blast, got back up from an Imperiex drone explosion that contains a portion of the Big Bang itself. She's the daughter of Zeus in the universe, for crying out loud. Let's take it a step further. Her and Superman went at it and they rocked the heavens and earth. She can put the work on a few characters who can take hits from Superman, such as Convict, Ares, and even defeating the Man of Steel himself. She at one point took a group of Justice League members solo all at once. That team consisted of, let's say, The Flash, Aquaman, Batman, Cyborg, and even Shazam. She has Atlas braces that can increase her strength by 10 times the amount. She's already a strong enough being on her own, right? Add a power boost and you're looking at a serious muscle-bound character. She has the power up for a time where she can take off her cuffs. There's another version of that, and she can go into God mode. In this mode, she was able to take on Superman when he was infected by the Doomsday virus. In the New 52, she has an entity within her that can take her to multiverse level threat like the Phoenix Force. In this form, reality itself quakes every time she takes a step, and can even create a universe in theory. So round this up, she is comparable to Superman's might. Heavy hitter title seems to be going her way. Now let's talk about how they would defeat each other on each end. Let's talk about Hercules first. He's a full god, while Wonder Woman is only half god. In this argument, I would say a full god would have a slighter advantage when it comes to the natural strength. He has lifted the heaven/universe over his back. Wonder Woman might have the power to rock them, but lift them as an entirely different story. Hercules too can rock many universes with his power punches, so that extra flex of carrying something that massive should make the case that his strength would put some hurting on Wonder Woman. In a hand-to-hand, he's known to be the best. Having that sort of skill helps you against an amazing opponent, keep them on their toes, even an Amazonian warrior such as Wonder Woman. She is a skilled fighter, but relies on certain weaponry to deliver the final blow. At times, Hercules uses an adamantium weapon, so both can equally bring the weapons, but when the toys are put away, Hercules can still bring it with his proficient fighting style. He has weapons that are durable enough for offense and defense against any weapon Wonder Woman might bring out to play with. He's got a bare naked chokehold on her. If he gets a bare naked chokehold on her, and he might be able to put her lights out, as she is tough, but there is a limit to amount of time you can get that off that grip. So if she finds herself having trouble releasing the grip on time, it might be her demise or place her in a weakened state. He has defeated a multiverse level practically on his own, and if he decides to level up, he can reshape reality, and itself is a terrifying heavy hitter power play that I don't believe Wonder Woman would survive. He himself has moved planets not even Wonder Woman can move, making his might tougher than hers. Maybe even possibly being able to hit her hard enough to send her flying into several buildings before enough walls eventually slowed her momentum and put a stop to her crushing impacts laid by Hercules' hands. He can hit her with several blows at once if the fight gets to simply a close-up. If she exchange blows with him, he's able to hit a couple more shots in during those exchange, eventually leaving Wonder Woman unable to continue the battle and giving him the sweet victory. Alright, now let's make the case for Wonder Woman. She has the opportunity to level up in many ways during combat. Her might is hard to defeat, but if, let's say, you can take the braces off, she can extend her power to go even higher, or the entity inside her can also come out and do some serious damage that the mighty Hercules. Either form, she possesses a potential threat to the god. Her speed is up there, and though this isn't about who's the fastest, but it does bring up nailing your opponent with those mighty blows that begs the question. Sure, Hercules has some serious hits, but if you can't deliver them, they become a little bit of a problem, as where she can run up fast enough to deliver several at them, run off. Sorry. So I mean, like, she can come in, punch him a bunch of times, and then run out. Though there's something to be said about relying on weapons, her weapons could definitely give her the fighting edge needed to hurt the big man. She can do it herself, possibly getting him to bleed. But why go through all the trouble when you have the weapons and a killer arm to help you lighten your load? Some of these weapons are even considered god killers ones, so watch out. If he's got good hands, she's got good weapons. She has taken on gods before, like Ares, so she has a good experience defeating one, and is a demigod, making herself half god, allowing her to have a fighting edge against the god. Though not full god, the half part is that of Zeus, so any bloodline from that would scream trouble to any crazy enough to come across any child of his. She might even be able to break Hercules' weapon, as she destroyed a scepter of unimaginable power one time in the comics. His confidence and temper is a weakness in itself, something Wonder Woman can exploit during their encounter. If he misses a step before he finds her not a threat or just attempts to taunt her, it would allow her to get an opening for a devastating blow. His anger also could make a miss hit, while she can mentally prepare for her shot each time, allowing her level-headedness counteract his short-fuse anger. Magic weapons can hurt him a bit, which Wonder Woman has in her arsenal, including her lasso, which might be the tool needed to keep him under wraps while she works the body like a punching bag. She also has the God Killer sword designed for Deathstroke, but can also be used by others. This weapon would be a weapon of all weapons to put the heavy hitter down. Not many that I recall in Marvel Comics has a God Killer weapon, but DC Comics does, and wielded, this definitely gives her the supreme W she's been looking for. But ultimately there has to be one clear winner, and my pick is Hercules. Not many weapons can harm this man, and even so, it's not about who has the best weapon, it's about who's the strongest in the fight. And he showed that by lifting the heaven/universe that he's clearly the strongest of the two. Alright guys, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, share, like, subscribe. And as always, No Praise Fam, we really appreciate you guys keeping it 800 subs. Peace.